Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Looks like my face is cropped. I will fix that in a moment. But how are you guys doing on this wonderful Sunday afternoon? For me, it's an afternoon anyways. Let's see if I can just scale this down. I swear, I gotta fix everything every stream these days. But we'll get it going where everything just works perfect. On one of these streams, we'll get it working perfect. Okay, everybody? Well, how are you guys on this wonderful day? I'm feeling pretty cool. Yesterday, we had the Visual Effects Society judging panel. So that was really cool. I got to see some of the top VFX in the industry and was honored to be able to vote on that stuff. So I will share more of that probably on this stream as we're going through it. But really cool stuff. And I think today is actually the Oscars Bake Off, which is kind of like the stage of like the top 100 films with VFX. Or I think it's 100 or maybe 10 or something like that. I forget how many it is. And then they pare it down to the short list, which is the top 5. But hey, Baragon Productions, as well as Marvin Studios, or, well, it's just Marvin. Wow, you changed your name. Or a whale. Well, how are you guys doing today? And it looks like my audio is working great, which, you know what? We take what we get. You know, we take it when we get one. Last week, we did a very cool stream. We were creating the Up house from PIXAR's Up. And this week, we are going to be going back to that. And I'm really excited about all that stuff. If you want the project files from last week, the link to that, of course, is in the description. You can join our Patreon. And with that being said, actually, I butchered. I'm sorry. How would I? Orwali? Orwali. Is it Orwali? I'm probably going to butcher it even more, aren't I? Orwali. Wale. Hey, Wale. Right? Right? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Marvin. Please forgive me. But of course, if you do want those, I want to say a special thanks to our wonderful Patreon subscribers that we do have. Let me actually fix this while I'm at it here. You know, all the people that help support this YouTube channel. Yeah, let's just center that. So that way it's like actually centered rather than not being centered. That's ridiculous. But I want to give a special thanks to our wonderful Patreon subscribers that we do have here. And of course, if you are a member of the Patreon, you get access to all of the project files and everything. So, of course, again, to that, link is into the description for that below. How are you doing, Lava 404? Hey, I got it, Marvin. Let's go. All right. We take it. We take those. We take those. I mean, my name is really simple. It's Connor. Well, I also have like 2 first names. It's Connor Thomas. So, you know, I don't have like a really good last name. I feel like some people have like really good last names that sound like last names. Mine doesn't sound like a last name. Mine sounds like a first name because it is a first name. I've been in like, you know, professional settings where people have actually called me Thomas because they thought my first name was Thomas. And I don't know if they just like misread the sheet or what, because I think Connor could also be a last name. I think anyways, I know it's like O'Connor and stuff like that. But as far as like I don't know if you can just do Connor. Maybe there's a possibility. We'll see. I don't know if you guys know anyone with the name Connor. Anyways, real quick before we get started today, we're so close to the amount of subscribers we need to hit 5K subscribers. How many subscribers away are we? Let's look at the number. I think it's like 18 or something like that. I don't think we're going to hit that during stream, but it would be really cool. So if you guys know anyone that would be interested in the YouTube channel, oh, we're 10 away, guys. We are 10 subscribers away from hitting 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. That's insane. Asian countries where the surname is said first? Possibly. I don't know. You've got like 2 first names? Yeah, I got 2 first names. I've seen people that have the last name Connor. Oh, okay, there we go. You'll make 10 accounts? Oh dear. YouTube will catch you. I don't know what the rules on that are. But this was the stream we started last week. We started working on this here inside of Blender. Obviously, this is just a still image, of course, but that got us all the way to the 3D modeling that we completed inside of Blender. So we have all of these wonderful balloons up here, which are created through our geometry node setup. That was a little complicated. I'm not a geometry aficionado, but am I going to do a simulation? No, we're just doing a still image for these renders today. We're not going to do an actual simulation of the balloons, although that would be pretty cool if we added buoyancy to them and then some connections. I think we would have to have like actual lines to every single balloon here, whereas we're kind of faking it right now. Our simulation that we could do if we really wanted to, and like how I probably would approach this is if this was like an actual shot I was doing, not PIXAR, because PIXAR, they have way more time to actually get everything right. But I guess the way I would approach it if I were trying to do like a cheap animation version myself would be to separate some of the, I would call them hero balloons, the ones that we're like paying attention to that are not part of a huge pack. And then I would keep the pack all as one object. And so that you animate that one object to kind of move in the direction you want. And then these individual balloons, I would then animate them to kind of like move how I wanted them to artistically, right? So it wouldn't be simulation based. I think I would never really do this simulation based if I were personally choosing, because I would want to art direct certain balloons to move in certain ways. Is this for Connor's R-rated cut of Up? Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay. So this was the final result, of course, of our balloons. The geometry nodes that we created are all the way over here, and I'll just show you guys this kind of setup. It was really simple. Essentially what we did was inside of our actual thing, we just created a sphere with all of our points, and it's a little hard to see, but we created a sphere with all of our points here, and these are just vertices. It's basically just a sphere, and if I turn off the modifier, you can see it a little easier. It's just a sphere in the shape that we wanted the balloons to exist in, and we did a couple things with our geometry node setup over here. First, we took the geometry, and then we distributed points on top of the faces, so on the surface of our object. And then everything with inside of it, we created a volume that we then distributed points inside of the volume. And we controlled the density that we wanted there. And then just using our simple balloon prefab over here, you could see right there. We just imported that prefab, set the scaling that we wanted it to have, and then did instancing to points and then joined those together. Very, very simple geometry node setup. I know, oopsies. Let's put that there. I think my face just disappeared. Let's just turn my face back on. There we go. But very simple geometry node setup over here, and then we just output it. Now, I'm a simple kind of guy when it comes to geometry nodes because, to be honest, I don't know every geometry node. So last week was a little painful, I'm sure, for the people that do know a lot about geometry nodes, but it was still fun. Simple, you think not? I mean, it's pretty simple. Subs remain now for Connor. Well, you know, good question. I should probably keep the number up or something like that so I can actually see it throughout the stream. I know I can have like a live subscriber number. Let's see if I can pull it up. I have 7 more subscribers to go, everybody. 7 more subscribers. By the way, did you know I hit my 10th anniversary on YouTube like very recently? That's like that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Where do I get like I know there's like a live way to view this. I want to see if I can watch it live. See, there's content. It's probably under analytics or something, right? There we go. See live count. Okay. I'm going to keep the see live count up, and then I'm also going to make sure I'm not missing any of my my comments. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, this is all over the place, but let's see. Let's put this here. Okay, give me a moment, everybody. We're figuring things out as we're going here. How was your guys' week, by the way? Have you guys had a good, productive week? or was it a not so productive week? We're finishing up this job right now on this film that I've been working on that I've been boring you guys to death talking about forever now. We're actually so close to being done. I think we're gonna be finished this next week or two. Like it's so close. Okay, there we go. I got everything kind of finished here. Fantastic. So that's the geometry node kind of setup for this. And then the camera view, of course, is all the way down here. I'm going to now probably take our reference image that we have right here. We'll keep the reference image up for now. I find it very easy to just kind of like look at it and get some ideas from a texturing perspective. Because like right now, what I'm going to do is we're going to go and add some more detail to things. And then we're going to be slowly building things out. So yeah, I'm at 7 subscribers right now. I know absolutely nothing about geometry nodes. This level is beyond what I could do, to be honest. Dude, I mean, honestly, if I could figure it out, you could too. I'm telling you right now. I literally just was like, okay, I mean, I was using ChatGPT too, but I don't recommend using ChatGPT. Not because I have anything against ChatGPT, but because I know some people do. But I would say that ChatGPT does not know geometry nodes. It was very frustrating, actually. Great productive week. So much animation. That's awesome, dude. I think I've seen some of your stuff that you posted. You posted something this week, though, right? Pretty sure I saw something posted this week. Let's get started right now with like kind of like a basic. I think I want to build out these like panelings that are on this house here. This might be a little bit of a 3D model thing that we have to do. I want to let's do cap. It's going to be a little easier to see everything. Finish up your Houdini scene this week. That's awesome. You know, I just, I want to get into Houdini. It's just, I have, by the way, like I've done Houdini for like jobs, but I really need to like just dive in. And I've been saying that for the last 2 years as I've been live streaming, and I hope to actually do it one day. But that's you know, just one of those things. I just think you got to do it. So powerful. It's just it's the same thing as geometry nodes, where like you don't really you have to know what the name of the nodes are, you know? And I think that's like the challenge in of itself. I should try streaming it. Oh God. You know what? Maybe that would be a way to do it. You know, the reason why I started streaming was to force myself to do more Blender stuff. I've been using Blender forever, but I really wanted to get better at creating full CG scenes, and that was the way I did it. Okay, let's have that. We do like a little paneling like that, I think. And if we just use an array, we can actually go up this wall a little bit. I'm going to probably have to cut out this window again, but we can go all the way up. Beautiful. It's really easy to just kind of like line these things up like this. I'm going to probably, let's go to top view here. I'm going to hide all of this monstrosity that we have. Yeah, if I tried streaming it, what would you guys want me to stream doing? What would be see, I think for me, I would rather learn just at like the basics of Houdini, not like the basics of sim, but just like actually probably the basics of like modeling or something like that. I think that's what I would find the most useful. Never thought you'd be doing anything in Houdini, and in fairness, you're still learning, but there's still a bunch of stuff that you need to learn. It's fun. Yeah, you know, I think this will be the year I do it. I think this will be the year. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it on the next live stream. Do it kind of like on the front there as well. I mean, we're looking at like this camera angle, so we'll probably only need to do this side of the house and the front of the house. That's really what we're doing here. Road to 5K subs. Yeah, baby. Welcome in, Nickies. How you doing? it's been a long road. You know, it's crazy too. I was looking at so I've been streaming a little longer than 2 years now. Uh, Most weeks, obviously, you guys know that I miss some weekends, but I stream most weekends, and I think it was 2 years ago I hit 500 subscribers. I think it was either 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I just saw it on like my memories on like one of the social media platforms, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Um, I yesterday was at a judge for the Visual Effects Society, and that was really great. Got to meet a lot of really nice people in the industry, very talented artists. And I think that there were things I liked about it, and then I think things that I didn't like as much about it. Um, I think it was really interesting, just kind of so the what we had to do was is we actually had to judge the kind of like my two categories that I got to judge on were the live action CG characters. I think, yeah. What was the actual wording? It was a photorealistic CG character in a live action film, and you get to judge based off like the technical prowess and like the kind of like the animation and things like that and the comp. And it was really cool to do. I enjoyed it, that aspect of it. I think the thing I didn't like as much was maybe how some people were voting and what they were voting based off of. You know, and that was one thing that I was like a little annoyed by, because everybody would vote off their own metrics, I think is the best way to say it. And I think that kind of annoyed me. Because like, I'm coming at from a VFX supervising position where I'm looking at it not from a budgetary perspective or anything like that. I was coming at it from this was, impressive from a technical perspective. It was a technical feat. And yeah, I don't know. Different people had different ways in which they were voting things, and I kind of wish that there was like an official, like, hey, this is the way you're supposed to be voting on stuff. But I don't know. I think it's really hard because you go through so many submissions. We went through probably 100 different films yesterday, and you're looking at the VFX, and they have these submissions and breakdowns and all this stuff, and it's really hard to like start to discern stuff, because you start to see a crap ton of New York shots, and each one of those New York shots is good for different reasons, and you've got to pick your top 4 or 5 different shots that you want to pick on the whole 100 shots that you just looked at. That becomes challenging. It was a fun challenge to kind of like overcome. So we did both character designs and live action characters, or sorry, photorealistic characters, as well as photorealistic CG backgrounds and extensions, which was super awesome. Like fairly certain I'm allowed to talk about this stuff now. Like I'm pretty sure I can. They were like very like, oh, you can't talk like to other judges while voting and things like that. But then once you cast your votes, you're allowed to talk. So I'm like fairly certain like right now is an okay time for me to talk, but it's one of those things where I don't actually know. So maybe I shouldn't say too much. Cooking on secret? What do you mean? Dope werewolf? Werewolf? Wait, what are you saying? Dope werewolf. Werewolf. What are we talking about right now? No, I actually didn't submit. If you're talking about my film, I didn't submit my film to the I did not submit it to the thing. Not this year. I didn't submit anything actually this year to the VF Visual Effects Society Awards. Okay, I'm going to apply, I think, the scale. I think that's the biggest thing. No, why didn't submit? Well, first of all, there's some rules that was a little unfortunate. The for specific okay. My film didn't come out this year. So the rules of like submissions were like, hey, from October of 2024 to October of 2025, did your film get released within that period of time? And my film was not released in that period of time. It was actually released in 2024. Just lie? No, I'm not going to lie. So I couldn't submit it because of that. And then, you know, I don't know if they take short films. I actually didn't look into the categories that closely to see what they did or did not accept, but I don't think they would have accepted any short films. If we do the feature this year, definitely going to submit, 100% going to submit. So do not worry about that. You know, cause I've already been talking to the guy who's going to be my VFX supervisor and all of that stuff. And I'm really excited about what we've got cooking. They will never catch you. I mean, more than likely wouldn't, but you know, it's another one of those things where do you really want to be that guy that's like, you know, taking advantage of the system? I'm not that guy. So also, I feel like I'm pretty public facing, you know, like you can easily research my project, who I am, what I do, and all that stuff through these live streams. So not exactly a person who can get away with very much, I would say. Not that I condone anyone trying to get away with stuff like that, but you know, it's the price you pay, guys, for getting live streams. For getting 4,994 subscribers, guys. 6 more subscribers to go. 6 more subscribers. Wow, I didn't think we were actually going to hit it today. I honestly was just saying that we were going to try to hit it on stream. I really didn't think we were going to hit it. Loki, I'd watch a show called America's Next Top VFX Artist and is just a bunch of depressed and broke people trying to get by. Yeah, I mean, you can watch that right now. Just come out here to LA. Pretty sure that's already a reality show. But speaking of my short, it is, first of all, you'll notice it's no longer on my YouTube channel. That is because we are doing some more festivals right now. So, you have 2 accounts? Oh, geez. Nikki's is cheating out here. Nikki's is cheating, guys. Why are you calling you Connor? Come on, guys. Award winner over here. Yeah. You know what I said? I said it's award-winning director Connor Thomas. I should show you guys some of the, you know what? I'll do that maybe on this stream today. Yeah, award winner Connor over here. I'll show you guys some of the stuff I'm working on for the next short, I think. I don't know if we don't have an official mood board yet, so maybe I'll wait for that. I can wait. Okay, I want we'll do the Boolean in a moment. Well, we'll keep it on. It doesn't really matter. But I want this to either be below it. Yeah, we'll go below it. It's totally fine. And that's looking pretty solid right there. I like that. So now from here, we've got these wonderful wood panelings all the way on that one. I'll fix this up here. We got to do the window. And we'll just delete the cube. We don't need the cube. And yeah, we'll do this up here. Yeah, so what was I saying? The next festival I'm in is in like 2 weeks. And there's a couple kind of cool things with it. First of which, I might actually have a live TV interview that we're going to be doing. I'll share more about that when everything is actually locked down on it. But it's really cool. And also I got nominated for Best Horror Short Film at that festival. So a couple pretty cool things, guys. I don't know if I had told you guys that yet already, but that is kind of the cool news. And that one is playing in Chandler, Arizona in, I think, January 24th. Let's go about right there, I think. I'll have this go out to there. Figure it out later. 100%. I would say I'm actually not terrible at sketching. I've been using I bought an iPad to use on sets as a VFX supervisor. And while doing that, I was like, wait a second, I can now use this for like actual kind of like sketching out storyboards and stuff. And dude, I don't even have it with me right here. The Apple Pen on it is amazing. It's amazing. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. Really, one of the good purchases from this last year that I did. Okay, we're only going to do the front, I think, on that guy. Yeah, we don't necessarily need to do the side here. 5 more subscribers, everybody. Okay. Oh, I guess this piece here, I mean, we didn't even finish the full side of the house here. We probably should have finished the full side of the house. Oh my gosh. Well, I won't make that mistake on this one up here. Use your trick for the wood panels. I don't know. I guess I just started doing it this way. Old habits die hard. Also, this is pretty easy to do it this way. Because I'm not doing the roofs. The roofs was the hard part, especially the curvature of it. The Connor way is the only way. Baragon knows how it is. Subscribe now. The Connor way is the only way. We live by the code of Connor. Recite your verses today, everybody. Okay, let's do... I'm going to apply the scale of this now. And then this guy here, we just kind of need to add the bevel to it. Otherwise, it's going to look like cubes. Okay, that's wonderful. And then with this, I'm now going to apply the array. Trust, guys, he's an award-winning director. I think he knows what he's doing. You know what? Yes. So now you guys can shut up about all of your little tricks and whatever. I am an award-winning director. I know exactly what I'm talking about here. Just goes to prove, guys, that Connor's way is the best way. It has worked out in my favor so far. Okay, we're going to do that. This is where things are going to get weird. I'll probably just do another bevel from the other side here. Yeah, so, or Boolean, I should say. Boolean. this guy. And then we'll just apply it. And then do it this way. Okay. I'll have to cut out the window there in a moment. But we'll do this over here, I think, now. I'm sure you guys have heard the term of vibe coding. This is like this is vibe modeling, all right? We don't have to think too hard. You don't have to get any plugins involved. You just use Booleans, all right? Booleans and prayer, and I think you get like 90% of the way there. Wait, that kind of rhymed. It should be a t-shirt. Booleans and prayer will get you 90% of the way there. What are we doing? The first thing I heard when you joined was, I'm a award-winning director. I know what I'm doing. Well, I mean, facts are facts, all right? Like, this is just like how the cookie crumble. All right? Should put that on a t-shirt. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we are 5 subscribers away, everybody. 5 subscribers away from greatness. From greatness, I tell you. I don't know what greatness, but I've heard of such tales. And scale it down. I think that's good there. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't go all the way to the top. So that. So yeah, the answer is Booleans and prayer. That's what we're doing right now. Welcome into the chat, by the way. Delete that. That's pretty great. Well, wish me luck. I'm about to start shooting my short. Dude, that's awesome. Any wise words you get from the GOAT? I don't know. We'll have to ask Blender Guru himself. Okay, so I guess my suggestion. Well, firstly, congratulations for getting your short going. That's already a huge step. Not a lot of people even get that far, so that's really exciting. Congratulations on that. I would say, I don't know what you're shooting, but definitely make sure you have a really solid plan of what your shot list is, but then also be willing to throw it away. And I don't mean that in the sense of like, you dislike Blender Guru. Okay. But I don't mean that to say like, be ready to throw it out because it's bad or anything like that, but just be open to new ideas and new things that could possibly happen. For example, on my film, I'm sure you guys have seen it, so this won't be spoilers for you, but there was a fire at the end of the film. Actually, I'll give you a couple examples of like how things changed from script to screen, essentially. Firstly, there was a fire that happens in the end. I added that fire about a day before the shoot happened because when I was building the set out and how I was doing the blocking, I realized that I always wanted to have my werewolf be backlit and the window was going to be where the actors were going to be. So I ended up changing kind of like the fire aspect, and I think that made it better. A big one was the woman getting ripped in half, spoiler alert, to at the end of the film. And when that wasn't supposed to happen. In fact, actually, what was supposed to happen was a gag with special effects kind of makeup, where we were going to be filming a like a blood splatter on the wall, and we weren't going to do the werewolf effect. Ultimately, the special effects did not work, and we had to change our plan. So I think like when dealing with special effects, I've always had bad luck with special effects. I think I've only worked on a couple films where the special effects worked. So just be willing to let things fail. It's very possible something will fail, and that might be okay. Um, if you're working with actors, don't be afraid to communicate what you want to them. Don't sit there being like, man, they're just not doing what I want. Be willing to communicate what kind of thoughts that you would like them to have, or, break it down to them. They're humans. They want to do the best they can. And your job as a director is to help get that on the screen. So don't be afraid. I've heard so many people like give this advice of like, oh, you should you should be afraid when talking to your actors because you don't know if they're going to get all angry and they're prima donnas. That's bad advice. Good advice is talk to your actors. They want to look good on screen. Believe me, they want it just as much as you do. What I'm doing has a lot of fog and human-shaped monsters. I don't know how it's going to go. I definitely don't want it to look goofy at all. It's full-on survival horror. Oh, that's super awesome. That's super awesome. Well, I mean, if you're doing VFX, I would recommend you not being your own VFX supervisor if you could help it, but especially if you're directing as well. But if you can't help it, then make sure you get all the clean plates you need. And actually, one big recommendation I would have, because I wasn't able to I think it's really hard when dealing with CG creatures and filming. Especially if things are changing, get photo scans of your environment. Every shot of the werewolf in my film was full CG, including the background. In fact, we completely did full CG for a lot of those shots. I got photo scans of all of my actors and a photo scan of the environment. Use Polycam. I'll write it in the chat. Polycam. Use Polycam. I think it's spelled like this. To scan. I mean, it's a free app. Even when you run out of scans, you can get more scans just by doing their weird things that they do. But you could share something public or whatever, right? There's a series of things you could do. But yeah, I mean, definitely get photo scans of actors. If you're dealing with fog, I mean, you're going to want to have, photo scans of actors so that way the volumetrics can get around them and things like that. I don't know what other advice to give you. I mean, have fun. That's the other thing. Have fun. This is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be scary. It's not supposed to be, it's a short film. Don't take it too serious. You want it to look good. Yes. And, it's okay. Just go out and do it. I don't know how many shorts you've done before. Before I did Bad Omen, it was like my first official directorial, he's directing something type thing. But I've directed my whole life. I directed a lot of short films growing up with friends and family and all that stuff. So just have a good time. Just have a good time. I made a lot of really crappy short films before I started making good stuff. So in fact, actually, you probably can see some of those short films on my YouTube channel. Proper scan, still a bit unclear with the fog simulation, need depth for it. I tried to mess around with AI depth, anything, it kind of works. Yeah, I mean, if you're just adding in kind of like a generic depth thing, I think AI should probably do the trick for creating a depth mask, right? I think you're totally on the right track with that one. I haven't used any AI depth stuff yet. What I have used was, what did I use? I used see, all the depth stuff I've done actual CG replacements in the background, and then I would just output a depth mask then. So screw cycles probably, but at the same time I still try to use it every time because I don't know. It's my first lover, all right? I gotta stick around for it. Let's do is. Let's extrude, and then we'll scale out. Let's do this whole thing. We're going to scale Y. So what I'm trying to do here is just create a shape here. And if we just grab this, just have it clear it completely. Wonderful. Okay, so now let's go ahead and select this guy, and then I'm going to throw a Boolean on here, and then we'll select our wonderful cube. Let's do... What happened to fast? All right, I'll do that one. And then for whatever reason, it didn't get all of it, but it's okay. I can... Let's do that. I'm going to deselect this side and then just kind of bring it in. But yeah, I mean, I think a big advice would be just have fun. Don't worry too much about post-production till you're there. Although at the same okay, that's maybe terrible advice. That might be terrible advice. Don't listen to that advice. I think the one power of being like a VFX artist, you know, with that knowledge going into directing something is you know what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. And not everybody can do that, you know? So that's kind of like a cool thing that you can do. All right. We are going to see this wall, so I probably should do it as well. I'm going to center this a little more. There we go. Let's do, I think I could do this pretty easily by just a, can I do an edge loop? Oh, probably not because I beveled it. Let's just duplicate this and then do Y or P and then do selection. And then I'll just select just this guy. Scale that all the way over there. Well, that's super awesome. I'm so happy. Thank you, Saya. I appreciate that. Well, I'm excited. I hope you share some of the progress as you're working on it. Also, you know, one thing that I would kind of recommend is don't like spend time in your edit. So not don't spend time in your edit, but do spend time in your edit. I think that's one thing that a lot of people really rush because they just go, oh, it's done. And then they kind of like, I don't know, they don't spend time in the edit. And I think you can re-edit and re-edit. And like you can change things just by like screen it with friends, show it to friends. Like the power of showing it to people and getting feedback is so insane. So do that. You know, I think a lot of people don't do that because they don't want to show anything that's not finished. But you kind of have to. Gotta show your stuff. It's how you're gonna get the best feedback that you're gonna get. It's how you're gonna maybe make some hard choices, you know, because maybe you filmed something and it was really hard to film. And so you don't want to cut it. But then one of your friends comes in, says, yeah, dude, I just don't like that shot. Or something about this feels boring at this point. And you got to kind of figure out why it's boring. But with that being said, like not every time is your friend's going to be correct. So it's a bit of a two-edged sword, right? Like there's two aspects of it. There's, hey, I want to make sure that this is best it possibly can be. So I want feedback. And what they might say is, hey, it's boring and it's because of this. Well, you don't have to listen to the it's because of this part, but you should listen to the it's boring part and try to figure out why it's boring. Maybe it's slow because they don't understand it. Maybe it's slow because the audio is not as good, right? Like that could feel slower because people are, it's bad audio or it's bad camera work or there's a weird pause in between one of the lines. And so then they go, oh, it's just boring. And it's really because maybe they didn't understand it or there was one bad cut. I think saw some comedian say that, the difference between a good film and a good comedy and a bad comedy is one joke too bad. It's like your film could fail because of one joke. And I thought that was really interesting because I never thought of it that way, but like you could have a really good horror film, but then like maybe one scene or one shot or something like that was just kind of boring, and that changes the dynamic of the rest of your film. So yeah, and a lot of that's in editing though, and so that's kind of like a point is spend time in your edit, make sure that you like it. You definitely keep that in mind, test screening and feedback and spending enough time in the edit. No rushing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay. And this is kind of fun. So when I directed my film, it took me a year to finish it. I finished, I filmed it in January 2023, and it wasn't till January of 2024 when everything was done. And that's just because, I wanted to make sure I liked everything that I had in it. I had sound design that I wanted done in it. I had all of these things, and I didn't want to rush any of it. And, and that's really important to make sure that you kind of get your what you're looking for across. What am I doing here? 1.91. 9115. 8. There we go. And then again, don't get discouraged if it doesn't turn out how you want it. Pick up the camera, do it again, make another one. That's I think that's the last advice I have. Just keep going. And if you don't like this one, you'll like the next one, or maybe the one after that. It's okay. All right. This roof now. So I don't absolutely hate my roof. Don't love it either. Going to select maybe just this piece here and just this very top piece up there. I like that. That's cool. Everything noted. Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing it. Oh yeah, and if you're gonna post it into festivals, I mean that's a whole different topic. I have different advice for that. The whole festival thing. I mean, I don't even know if I'm the one qualified to talk on that whole topic because it has been. I've been learning so much, and this was my first film I submitted to festivals. I had never submitted a film to festivals before. The only thing I could confidently say is that I got the Film Freeway like gold membership thing, and it's like $100 a year or something like that. And I definitely used it and some. It gives you like discounts when you're submitting films to festivals, and holy cow, that was 1000% worth it. Okay. Okay. I think that's about right. A little bit like bowling pins for sure. Maybe one less. Nukes. Okay. You don't want to get banned? Ah. See. Oh, it's a little better. Probably something like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's take this and then also make it separate, and we'll just extrude this outwards or something there, and then it's not terrible. It's not terrible, guys. Okay. I met this guy though yesterday at the Visual Effects Society. He's like an actual professional 3D modeler. He works for DreamWorks, and I'm like, he's like, oh, I should go subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I'm like, please don't judge my modeling on my YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, I think he'd have a heart attack if he saw what I'm doing here. He'd be like, sir, that's not how you 3D model. I'd be like, well, this is the Connor way, and the Connor way is the correct way. Thank you very much. Okay, let's take this and we'll just... I didn't know this was a leaning pillar here. That's crazy. Guys, we're 5 subscribers away. Share it with your friends. Okay, how are we looking here from that angle? That actually looks pretty nice. I gotta cut this window out. Just realized that one's still blockaded. Let's go fix that real quick. We don't have no boarded up windows here. Did I just realize in my head that that they copied in the movie Up, they just copied the whole buying a house and falling in love thing? That's literally from It's a Wonderful Life. They bought the house from the childhood where the kids were making fun of the house or something like that. Like it was some creepy house that was broken down. They literally copied it. I just realized that. That's brilliant. It's brilliant because you as an audience then immediately empathize with that storyline and understand it. And you don't have to like explain it. It's like without words, them doing that whole thing, because It's a Wonderful Life is such a I think classic nostalgic film that a lot of people, at least in my generation and older, 100% watched. So it's one of those things that you can immediately connect with. I did not realize that till just now. What a cheat code. All right, I got to add some windows in. I think we want to do some pipes down here as well, maybe. Let's do some pipes. A little bit of cylinder action. A little hard to see sometimes. I got to turn backface calling on. I don't think I want shadow. I want kind of... This is cavity. It's just like this is blending here and it's really frustrating me that I really can't see anything. Connor Thomas University, he told me everything I was doing was wrong and told me how to do it the Connor way. So now the pipeline is 42 hours longer than usual. All for the best detail. Hey, I actually think, okay, you're right. Okay. I'll accept that I do things unorthodox. All right. I'm going to accept that. But I also want to push back and say that I do feel like I get things done pretty damn fast in comparison to the correct way of doing things. I just want to say. Because the correct way sometimes is a lot longer. I will say, though, I think that is a higher quality, better way of doing it. I'm not saying any otherwise. Okay, let's just have this go all the way over here. And you know what? Good on you for listening to the Connor Thomas University School of Thought. Uganda. I can guess where Uganda is. I could totally guess. Who am I to argue with an award-winning director? You know, that's the question I think more people should be asking themselves. All the negative comments I get on my channel should take advice from you, Baragon Productions. All right, there we go. We got some pipage. Hey, Paige Mugala, you're new here. Did you hit the subscribe button? We are close to the 5,000 subscriber mark. Very close indeed. That one goes all the way under. Let's see. Oh, guys, the movie I'm watching tonight, I'm going to watch I'm watching Is This Thing On, which is a comedy film. I'm gonna see how it is. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet or not. Okay, that looks from an under the building pipe perspective. That's not terrible. It's just this extra added detail crap that we're throwing in here. Let's just do some more things like this. How do you change the focal length on a dolly camera in Blender? How do you change the focal length on the dolly camera? Well, first of all, you have to select your camera, right? You select your camera, and then your focal length is right there. And then if you're doing a dolly, it's probably moving, right? So if this was your camera here, you're going to be dollying it in or moving it in which case then you're also changing your focal length. Booyah. Lesson learned. Someone clip that. Yeah, I got to do like what those other streamers do. You guys, who wants to be my clippers? They have like professional clippers or whatever, and they just reclip like videos. You guys do that for me. You post it on your own YouTube channel. I don't even care. I think that's the way it works, right? Like, so you get to post it on your own channel, and then that way you get the views and money and all that stuff yourself. But then it pushes my branding for my YouTube channel. Is that how it works? That sounds like a pyramid scheme. I'm not going to lie. Doesn't that sound like a pyramid scheme? I feel like it is. I thought you meant as in your hairdresser or something. Wait, what? Oh, oh. I'm getting a haircut next week, guys. I don't know if you can tell or not. My hair is long and shaggy right now. Long and shaggy indeed. Okay. I don't even know if that adds that much detail. It's just like little variations in the piece of wood there. I mean, can I just grab this and... one other thing I could recommend, by the way, Satya, I don't know if you're still here or not. Leave a comment if you're still in the chat. Actually, I don't know if you're still in. If you are, I'll give you another little Coolio thing. It's a little bit of a plug, but it's also a cool thing that you might not already know about. Because I don't really promote my my things on here, like my outside the YouTube channel stuff, but I have a service called let's see if I can just pull it up real quick over here, called DCP Generator. And if you don't know what a DCP is, it's basically it's a way in which when you submit your film to festivals that you have to have it in a specific format. And I created a whole website that basically just automatically creates it for you online. So once you log into your account, like as you can see up here, you just hit create DCP and you can go select your movie really simply. So let's just let's see if I can even find a movie that I can select here. Let's do this thing. Once you select it, it'll load it in here and it'll give you like a test of what you're looking at. And yeah, let me actually, I don't even know what file that is. Let's select like a actual movie. I think it's all over on my Drive D now. I moved all of my files over here. There it is, videos. And then if I just like select like for instance this, you name your film, so name film, whatever it's called. And you just go through the whole process here, add all this stuff, and it does everything in the cloud. If you want to see what it looks like in scope, you can change the the output resolution here, and it'll show you exactly what the preview will look like. I think on ProRes files, it has a challenge doing it, or files that are, no, not ProRes files, but files over a certain size. And that's actually a browser limitation, but it's way faster and it keeps it all online so you can send things directly to film festivals. Gotta go now. Looking forward to seeing the end result. You know what? Me too. I don't think we're going to finish this today, but I might throw an HDRI in here after we add some more detail and stuff. I'll probably spend another hour on this before I move on, but see you next week, hopefully, Beargun Productions. Whoa, we have 4 subscribers to go till we hit 5K, guys. 4 subscribers. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I want to see what this looks like again over here. I mean, we have some extra. I basically have to model all the detail, like, because we're seeing so much of the bottom. It's like this whole thing has to have like a design to it. The bottom of our house. I normally would not model the bottom of a house, but you know what? Looks like that's what we're doing today. Let's grab that. We're just going to extrude upwards here. I think I'll take this guy and we'll just we'll extrude it this way. That way it's a bit of a box. It's totally cool. Kind of beveling everything here. Go ahead and just save that. Now I do have trim, or I don't have the trim on the windows yet, but we're probably going to want to build that out. I have some of the stuff, but like for instance, should have probably just erased that whole thing, shouldn't I? Let's go ahead and set this here. I'm just going to do another Boolean. Just have that kind of go all the way over the edge here. And then we'll go ahead and do another Boolean. Okay, that's going to be a lot better. Might want to just grab this thing and then move it over here. Okay, do another Boolean and erase that cube. Amazing. Saving as we are going. Yeah, I guess I thought I was a little further along on the 3D modeling last week, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We're doing it now, and that's all that matters. I'm going to select this face here. Let's go ahead and just duplicate him. Move him over here slightly and scale it up. I'm going to then extrude this out. I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and now use an array. Oh, no. Let's go ahead and select this and first make it its own object. And then we'll go ahead and add an array here. And now we'll just get a couple trim pieces all the way up here. Looks pretty nice. Okay, let's go ahead and save that now. And feeling pretty good about it, guys. I might throw an HDRI on here, and we'll do some balloon textures. We'll do maybe this base color of the house, I think, as well. Let's see. Okay. So now we have kind of that. Let's go ahead and select our camera again. And now we're going to probably just turn off our background image. I just want to be able to see what we're working on over here. And then a couple other things I like to do inside of my settings over here when I'm working with the camera, especially if stuff are bleeding out into the outside area here. I like to go to my camera settings and then go to viewport displays and then set pass through and just set that to 1. And then I also like to over here turn off our floor as well as our XY. And then I'm also probably in this window going to turn off extras as well as relationship lines. And then we'll turn off bones. Not that we're using bones, but we'll go ahead and turn that off. And then I'm going to turn off origins as well as outline selected. We're pretty much just turning everything off. I might actually keep outline selected. Yeah, let's keep outline selected, but then we're going to turn off, where is that at? 3D cursor. I think that's good. Okay, fantastic. And then I'm going to turn off T as well as this guy. What is this shortcut? Control tilde? I'm not going to do that ever. Guarantee I'm never going to do that. But okay, now that we've got our scene set up over here, we need to find ourselves a lovely HDRI that kind of matches the same feeling as that background image that we have here. We want this kind of like iconic up movie blue sky that's lighting it from this side here, and also top heavy because obviously we can see. So it's like midday with the sun kind of a little behind the camera is what we're going for. Now I'm going to use HDRI Haven. It's my go-to website of choice. Definitely recommend it. So we'll do that real quick. Let's go to HDRI Haven. And let's find a lovely sky that kind of matches that vibe. We need to like a midday. I guess we could go. Ooh, okay, wait a second. That's pretty nice. Got it. We kind of just need a sky, though we are looking up, so we're not going to really see the ground. I mostly want blue with maybe like one cloud. You know what I'm saying? That's always a good one. This is really good too. I'm gonna use this one. I like this one. So I'm gonna render or download this as a 16K. Now we'll do 8K. It's okay. We're going to do an 8K download here, and I'll do it to, I don't know why Of Blood and Dust was the last time I downloaded anything, but that was like months ago. Let's go to streams, and I'm going to put this under assets. And let's just see what this looks like here. So we can test all of this out. I'm going to import the world. If we change color here to an environmental texture, we can then go ahead and click open and find our asset under our assets folder. I will upload all of these files as well over to the Patreon when I'm done, of course, with the render. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, well, first of all, we are in the wrong render engine. So let's go over to our render settings here, change this to cycles. I love me some cycles, a lot better. And I think we'll be good with all of that stuff. The reason why I downloaded a higher resolution HDRI is because we're actually going to be seeing it inside of our render rather than where normally I just use it for lighting, and you could download the 4K renders for that. Now, this is taking a moment to really preview here. I do like to have it inside of EV, especially if I'm rotating things around. It's really fast to be able to do that, though I think we're already in a good spot here. We don't have any clouds. We have a little bit of clouds up there, and we might want to fix that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to swap this over to some shader editors. We're going to swap it into world settings here. Now I have Node Wrangler enabled, and with Node Wrangler enabled, if you press Control T, it'll add a mapping and texture coordinate node, though you can add these in yourself. I'm going to want to maybe change the location of this. And let's go ahead and do this not in cycles. So firstly, the reason why it was running slow is it was selected on CPU. Should have been on GPU instead of CPU. That's my bad, but we're going to swap it over to EV instead right now. I'm going to go to render view. And as you can see, we could see everything else in real time though. And that's going to make our choices a lot easier. With our location here, because we only really care about our camera view that we have, we could do two things. Firstly, there is the background that we have, and then there is also the lighting that we have. Let's just make sure that we are getting... We want kind of really a front lit. Let's do that. So we could have the clouds over there as well as over here. I mean, it's not going to be perfect match to our thing, but I really like this. Let's do that. Something like that, I imagine, right, guys? That's pretty sweet. And we're still staying true to our lighting over here, keeping this lower. That's all great. Go into solid view. I'm going to hit the save button now, and we'll go to cycles now and making sure GPU is selected on that. We can go back over into our render options here and see what it looks like with nice cycles render. Just going to go to preview real quick, and we can just double check this. System is out of GPU and host memory. That's exactly what we like to see. It's exactly what we like to see. I'm going to go ahead and save and close this real quick, and we'll go ahead and reopen everything. I think that'll help solve our problems, maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Shouldn't have any issues, but it may have issues. Last thing we also want is our live stream to crash. So, device is rendering. Yep, we get it. I go to preferences. What is going on with my computer in the last few weeks? Only on NVIDIA. Let's try both. It's also using CUDA. Let's use OpticX. I think CUDA is worse than OpticX, right? Okay, and I'm going to select my camera real quick, and let's just see what we've got here. I think it was more lit on this side as well. So let's see. I might want that. I don't know, actually. I really like it this way. Funny enough, I don't like it as front lit as this up poster has it. I actually kind of like it being a little bit more side / lit over here. Right? Am I wrong on this? I think we might need to comp the background to be a little bit brighter, but this is what we've got so far for the HDRI. You guys don't really need to see this, but I'm just going to boost the exposure a little bit just to see what that looks like. Nothing happened. What is going on here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I boosted it by 2 exposure points, which you can see over here. I just set this exposure knob to 2. I think that's going to be the brightness level that we're going to want it. And I do like that it's darker on the one side of the building than the other. I think that looks awesome. And then, yeah, so even the balloons are catching real nicely. Let's just make sure this guy here, these are currently curves inside of my Blender group here. They're actually, let's see if I can show you. They're still just curves. They're not actually meshes. So the data on them is set to this. Now I can actually increase the resolution of these, so that way their smoothness is a little better. I might want to, let's do 4 still on this. 12 is the resolution for that. Let's set this to 50. No. What do I want here? If we select these guys, I just want to make sure that this doesn't look like it's bent like that. So if I do object, convert to mesh, and then we throw in a subdivide surface, that smooths these lines out a little bit while keeping the points on either side. That might be the trick. Which, by the way, we could select all these that are like that. Let's, goodness gracious, I need to turn off this background image. It's driving me crazy. We don't need it anymore. We've got our lighting kind of set up and everything. So we'll just go here. And let's see. I'm just going to go to single point view over this. And if I just grab these guys like so. Oops, I don't want to grab that one. And we just do that like that. That way this doesn't feel so like they're out of place here. Now if we go back over, we'll just add in, you know, some extra detail here. And now we've got like these really nice wires that are kind of like rotated just nicely enough. I want to make sure, I guess these are all good. I don't think any of these bother me over here. But we could totally grab them and, you know, adjust them accordingly. Let's do it this way. There we go. Oh, that's great. So now if we go into render view on our screen over here, let's just see how those wires look now, because you've got like the tighter ones and then you've got these other ones that are kind of just like floating out as if the helium wasn't as strong on them and stuff like that. I really like it. It's like this nice balance between the two. Come on, let's load. I do have to probably clean my computer. I don't know. 4 more subscribers to go, everybody. 4 more subscribers. 4 more subscribers. Ugh. Let's see, where's my OBS? Beautiful thing. Now, why is this not rendering? Something is going on here. Out of memory CUDA Q. Okay. Why do we keep running out of memory? I don't understand. We should not be running out of memory, everybody. System is out of memory. I don't understand. Is it because of the balloon instancing? I do wonder. Oh, we crashed Blender that time. Let's go ahead and I'm going to remove the geometry node aspect of it. I'm a little concerned that that is the reason it's doing this whole thing. We can also apply our subdivisions here so that way maybe that'll solve any problems we have. If I apply this, does that instance them? I don't know if it does. Evaluated geometry for modifier does not contain a mesh. Manage, bake path, named attributes. I might not be able to bake this. Normally I don't run into problems like this. This is quite unfortunate. I have in the last few weeks dealt with some GPU issues. I'm a little concerned. I probably should check my computer out. But I've been really pushing it off. I really have. Yeah, it's not going. System is out of GPU and host memory. Shouldn't be. Welcome back, Nickies. We're basically just dealing with... There's no data to purge, but we're basically just dealing with running out of GPU memory. And I don't know what's going on with my machine right now. It was weird because I let's see, operating system. 4.52 is a pretty good version of Blender. Nothing's happening. It's just I'm trying to go to render view here and I'm dealing with some problems. It might be too many vertices. I don't know. I doubt it. Because I don't even feel like I have that many vertices in my thing. I've, done a lot more before. So I would rather not use render layers. I would rather this just work. But that's just me. Okay, so that right there. This, let's go and apply that. We're just going to instance, or not instance, but we're going to realize everything. Really, it all started when I created a subdivision thing to smooth everything out. So I can't control Z anymore because I closed the program. Gotcha. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go here. Let's go decimate. And then let's see. We're going to change this to like 0.1. What does that do? Hopefully it keeps the line, but then like removes the circleness of it. Because I don't really care about the circleness aspect of it. Use instances? Yeah, probably we'll have to. My machine has been acting weird in the last couple weeks, and it's been something that I've been meaning to take a look at. Yeah, they definitely use render layers. Well, kind of. They, to an extent, yes. Okay. This might work perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this decimate. Rest in peace, PC. Yeah, it is an old computer. I think this computer is like 8 years old. And I really haven't updated it or anything since then.
So I count my blessings. I for sure do. I'm going to sit here until we hit freaking 5K subscribers, though, guys. Okay, I'm actually just going to apply this, I think. You got hacked? When? Just now? How'd I get hacked? But I didn't do anything. Okay, that's applied now. That should actually fix a lot of problems, maybe. I don't know. Might fix some problems. Yeah, I definitely fixed problems. So, the issue was the wires. It was the 4 subdivisions on the wires. Well, that would do it. I didn't need the wires to be circular, that crazy circular, though. I probably could have turned that down to like 2 on the resolution before I converted it to a mesh. I just didn't think about it. Okay, that's looking okay to me. We're currently running GPU, and are we in CUDA? We are in CUDA, so we should probably be using OptiX, which I will convert over to now that we have fixed our problems. Fantastic. Go ahead and save that. Our balloons, though, these will be really easy to make. Use Modo. I've used Modo before. I'm not going to swap to Modo right now. Let's do a new material, and we're going to call this a balloon. Balloon. And inside of our balloon, we're going to change over to probably object shading right now, or AI. Oh my goodness, now we're talking. I'm going to turn on the preview over here so that way we can kind of see what we're doing. And let's go ahead and turn down the roughness. Balloons happen to be pretty reflective, so you don't want them to be too rough. You want to be able to see quite a bit what's going on there. We can even randomize this roughness if we want. You will kill your PC with subsurface scattering. Doubt it. But that is a total possibility, absolutely. Let's see. Just look up at references of balloons on my computer over here as I'm working on this. I searched balloon blender, and I don't like balloons in Blender. Instead, we're going to, firstly, I do actually want to check out what the heck is going on here. Camera. And turn that on for a moment. Yeah, these do have semi-transparency to them. So we will want to do that as well. I'm going to select our balloon here. And there's a couple things that we're going to want to do. Firstly, we're going to add in a Fresnel. Now, what the Fresnel is going to give us is the ability to change things that are closer to flat on towards the camera versus the curvatured edges, which is generally how transparency works. Do you know any good Modo channels? Actually, I don't. But as you can see, if I preview this Fresnel over here inside of our settings here, you'll notice that it has kind of like black towards the middle and white towards the edges. And I'm going to get out of the way just in case I do any settings or anything like that. I'll just move this right up to my face over here. But yeah, so this Fresnel right here is going to give us the ability to add transparency closer to the center than the edges of our image. And that's really important because if you look at, which I can't seem to select my camera here, if we look at the background image here, the edges of these balloons will have more opaqueness to them than the closer to the center, where it's going to have more transparency. And I think even if I pull up some actual pictures of balloons over here, we can actually see that. Balloon. Balloons. Balloons. Just give me pictures of balloons, guys. Like, these are all like AI pictures of balloons. It's ridiculous. I want a real balloon. Are these real? Kind of. Balloons at party. They're all like trying to sell balloons, so they're like these AI pictures of balloons. Not very transparent, actually. I thought they would be a little more transparent. We'll just look at this picture. So what they're doing actually in their picture is adding that transparency in, which apparently isn't super realistic. That's interesting. So what we can do now is we can actually go in. I do like having that transparency, though they were just changing the alpha of their image, which you can do on your actual shader node over here. You can actually just change your alpha of your image, and then that will make it so that it's more transparent and see-through. Though I don't think that's the way in which we want to do this. I think that we are going to want to use a Fresnel to make it so that it is white on the outside edges here, but then closer to the center, it is, is black. And let's see, let's do like a 3 here, and I'm going to use a color ramp. And if we then increase this, something like this will do. We get these like kind of like outside edges, and then everything in here would be a little bit more transparent. So we can actually now take this and plug it directly into our alpha. So when we preview our balloon here, it'll be using those settings. Now it is kind of important that we probably do that, and then also make sure that it's not completely black. We never want it to be completely black. That'll give us better results here. So let's see, let's do a 1 for right now. I'm going to do a 1.5. And then this gets plugged into alpha. And so then if we preview that, now these outside edges, it's a little hard to see on this little preview window here, but these outside edges will be a lot more opaque than the center here. Use a depth pass and shuffle it to the alpha. Can I do? I've actually never done this. Ray depth? Is that what you're talking about? Or diffuse depth? Transparent depth? Because we're not in Nuke. We're in Blender. Actually don't know. Never done this before. Ray depth? But anyways, that gives us our balloon material a little bit better there. I'm going to also make it so that this color isn't white, because that's not what balloons look like. Instead, balloons might be a little bit more rough, just a little bit more diffused here. Oh, in Nuke, I get what you're saying. So just a little bit more diffused here. And I think you were probably right. We're going to want a little bit of subsurface scattering because of the rubberiness on the object. So we're going to do that as well. This might actually kill our computer though. And then we're going to go ahead and add in a random node or a object info. I think an object info node is what we really want here. And from our object info here, we have a few output options, one of which is random. And this is what we are going to plug directly into a color ramp. Which the heck is going on here? I just want a regular color ramp, please. converter color ramp. Now, if you plug random, now random is going to give you a value that's different between the value of 0 to 1. That's essentially what it's going to give you, is a random value based off of your object's ID inside of the scene. And it's going to give you a black and white value. So if you plug this over here into your FAC, that's going to give you one of these values between 0 and 1. That's how color ramps work. Basically, it goes from left to right, 0 to 1. Basically black to white, blah, 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 all that crap. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually convert this color ramp into an identifiable color that we might want. And of course, we're going to probably look at our up balloons. I'm just going to pull it up on a different screen, just so I can make sure I'm not going to use colors they're not using here. But we're going to change this from linear to probably constant. So that way, every time we add in a point, it's basically a hard color change. So let's select this first one, for instance, and we're going to go ahead and select a nice looking blue here. Now we're going to select this one here, and we're going to select a nice looking red. As you can see, it goes from blue to red. And if we add another point in here, we have a little bit of some greens. Let's go add another point in over here, and we're going to swap that to a different color green, maybe a little darker. I'm just going to keep looking up here to see all the colors they have. Let's go ahead and add another point in, and this point might be a different color blue. Maybe it's a little bit darker of a blue. And then we might have some magenta colors. So let's go ahead and add in a magenta point. I'm going to do that over here. And this one might be magenta. And then we might add another point in. And this point might be red. Or no, we already have red. So maybe it's orange. So you have all these different colors here, and you can distribute however many colors of each one that you want. So maybe we want a little less orange ones, a little less pinky ones, but we want some more blue ones or something. I don't know. Let's look at that. Now, with this object info here, we plug this directly into our base color. And that's going to give us a random color value that's going to be our base color of our principled BSDF. And it's all based off of randomness of what the object info will be. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the save button. Hey, what's up, Ben? I'm not sure that's working today. I tested it earlier and I don't think it was working. It's so weird. It like just randomly stops some days. But now, once we have that, I'm going to go ahead and go into render view over here. And we're going to see the distribution of all the different colors that we have on our balloons, which actually it looks like we haven't. Oh, well, okay. This is the last thing. Add orange, since you said orange isn't a color. I did add orange, but orange isn't a color. I was actually literally it was on the tip of my tongue to say that, and I didn't say it because I was like, yeah, it's fine. People are over that joke. All right, I'm going to swap now. We have our shader editor here. I'm going to open up geometry nodes because that's actually the last thing we have to do here. So we have to go into geometry nodes and we have to apply the material. So I believe we just do material or set material. Yep. And we can take that with our geometry here. We can do set material and we can then select balloon. Now, hopefully, I've never used the random thing with geometry nodes, but I'm really hoping it gives each one of these a different color, which it did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it did. I was a little concerned it wasn't going to. Not going to lie. I was a little concerned. But one thing we're going to notice here is these balloons are a little too transparent when they're up against the white clouds of the sky over here. So I might want to fix that. That's all because of the transparency of our objects that we have here. And again, you know, we don't need the alpha. I was just doing it because they had it. A little too much orange for orange not being a real color, guys. I'll tell you that right now. A little too much green for my opinion. Okay. And now all this cabling that we have here, we need a set of material for this as well. And I think it's a little too thick, so I might add a new material. Ben, we are close to 5K subscribers. 4 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. That's how close we are. We're making it. It's happening. Okay, I'm going to go over here. We're going to add a new material in. And orange is your color. Let's go and deselect that so it's just a little easier to see everything. This is our principled BSDF thing. Now, interestingly, we're probably going to want to turn off render view because this is going to be a little computationally slow at first. But I want to add a Fresnel in, and this Fresnel is going to give us something like this. I want to take a color ramp, and then I want to invert these colors like so. Okay? And essentially, what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to have these edges blurred out on our wires here. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that and plug this directly into our alpha. So the alpha will be white here. And then it's going to fade to black. So that way it's creating like a bit of a feathered edge to it. And then overall on the alpha, let's bring everything down a little bit. So it's not going to be fully visible. Then next up, let's see. I think we're probably pretty good. Let's plug that into our surface here. And we'll hit the save button. So now when we go into our preview here, just take a look to see what this looks like. Orange is your color. I don't think you can own a color. I think someone tried to do that once though. Well, actually, didn't someone actually copyright? There's a shade of black that was created as like a paint thing that is owned specifically by someone. Okay, we are getting way too many. Oh wait, what is this? Select all of these. I'm just going to delete them. I'm trying to get rid of not these center ones, but like ones that we're not seeing. I feel like we just have too much stuff going on here. Let's go ahead and save that. That's good. As long as these got wires here and then we do have some wires here, I'm happy. Which, you know, we can select all of these here like that. Hide that. Delete these. And I think if we do that, it'll even be better. Signing happy birthday is copyrighted? I did not know that. Guys, I got rid of like 90% of the wires connecting to these balloons here. And it looks way better. Okay. So I'm going to... I did know the happy birthday song is copyrighted because that's owned by Michael Jackson. Or his estate anyways. All right. This is a bit strong here. It's just going to prove. I'm like looking at like this this thing from the actual movie of Up, And I think they didn't actually create the amount of actual cables to balloons ratio. They cheated it, which is what I'm doing right now. And it's kind of interesting to think about. We're going to do that. Let's delete that. Okay. That's okay. They killed MJ. Is that a conspiracy theory that's really popular right now? Oh no, we lost a subscriber. Oh, we're going backwards. Okay, that's looking pretty solid to me. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Stretch time. That's what I say. It's stretch time. Oof. That's looking pretty good. I like the distribution of the different types of balloons here. I like the colors. I like the wires now. It felt like way too many wires before, but now it looks about right. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Let's see. Got a lot of texturing to do on the building, I think, here. Let's, yeah, I like that so much better, guys. That's working out. It's working out quite well. Let's go ahead and add in, I just want to see what it'd look like. It's one of the easier materials to create. We're going to create ourselves some glass. Some glass panes, if you will. Yikes. Yeah, I know. We're losing subscribers. I was asking too much here. This is unfortunate. We're just not going to hit it on stream. I'll probably hit it tonight because every time I do a live stream, I get subscribers throughout the evening and all that stuff. So it's going to happen tonight. It's okay. No worries. So this will be a window. And now the trick with windows, we're going to just delete that for a moment, is you could just use a glass BSDF. It's totally possible. But glass is not going to give you the opaqueness or opacity that you need. So you need to actually mix it with a transparency node. And we're going to use our best friend, the Fresnel. And we're going to use a mix shader node. This is basically the ingredients you need for a solid glass shader. So basically on our Fresnel node, everywhere that's white is going to be our B input at the bottom here. So we're going to want this, probably the glass that's a little bit more rough. And then our transparency will be more head on. So it's going to look a little bit like that. And that's perfectly fine. Then you can add a color ramp in if you want to customize the amount of any of this stuff. So like, for instance, we can do this, which will add a little bit of more of a glass feel to everything, but still the opacity in the front. I don't hope they don't sleep well at night. I hope, what? You hope they won't sleep well tonight? But this is basically a really nice glass material that you could basically throw on pretty much any object. So now if we go over here into our render view, we'll get some nice reflections on our shot, as well as a little bit of transparency into the actual building itself. And we can control the amount of all that stuff here. So, probably want another little trick, because this is just a flat surface. let's take a thing like that. There's a little bit of a point to it. And let's do a subdivide surface here. And there we go. It's a little better. Now we'll do shade smooth on that. And there you go. There we got ourselves a lovely window. So I'm going to just duplicate this now. Our window's got a little bit of bowing to it. As all windows do that have high pressure with air conditioning on the inside, so that way you can breathe as you're flying through the air with a house with balloons flying out of it. Okay, now one thing that I'm going to do also on this window is I do want it to have bluish tint to these things. Not in love with any of this right now. Let's do this. And then that. That way we're still getting the clouds a little bit in the reflections there. Almost wish I had a little bit more clouds in the reflections, but it's the unfortunate thing about using HDRIs is you don't get to pick a lot of that. I mean, it's kind of like what you get, right? It's looking pretty solid from a glass perspective. I think I need to do the side of the house now. Just one more window over here. I like it. I like it, guys. So that's the windows on our lovely house here, and the balloons. And I'll tell you, that subdivide surface almost killed my computer with those wires, man. It's like, that's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's looking pretty solid. I don't know if I like the color of the cables here. I think these could be a little bit different. I think right now the issue with them is that they're super white and they should probably have a tinge of blue. to them. Oh yeah, that looks way better, guys. Just realized my phone wasn't plugged in at all. Let's go ahead and save that. That looks pretty nice to me, guys. What do you think? What do you guys think? Yeah, I think could do the overall house color. It's kind of yellow. Trying to figure out where a good place to stop is. I think we're at a good place to stop right now. Yeah, I think we're at a good place to stop right now, guys. What do you guys think? Is that a good place to stop? Kind of depends. Just little brother loves your render. Awesome. That's a win. That's a win right there. We'll take it. Well, shout out your little brother. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. I think we're done for today. We're gonna come back next week. We're gonna probably do the rest of the texturing on the house, and then we will also do render it out and do some nuke renders. I think that's the plan. Thank you guys so much for watching today. It's great. I thought I thought there was a chance we could hit 5,000 subscribers, but it's okay. We are 5 away from 5,000 subscribers. I hope we hit it by next week. But if we don't, we'll do it on stream next week. Yeah, what else I gotta say? Oh, if you want the project files for any of this stuff, link to that is in the description below. Again, shout out to the wonderful Patreon subscribers right here whenever it loads. Voila. Thank you guys so much for helping support the channel. And yeah, I mean, this week I'm finishing up a film, so I'm hoping, well, in the next couple weeks I will be. I know I've been saying that for like a month now, but I think we're getting close. We're getting close, guys. Yeah, give me any comment suggestions of what you guys would like to see on the next live stream after we're finished with this series of making this film for Up. I don't know, unless I come up with something random, then I might take one of you guys' suggestions. But you guys have a good one. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys over on the Discord when I randomly ask if anyone wants to play League of Legends every now and then. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.